Hey guys, it's Dylan from Team Oversight bringing you my friend Rhobby's 35th Metalfoe Majespecters. So without further ado, take over, Rhobby.
Alright, yeah, I got 35th. I was a little unfortunate that I couldn't go X1 the entire way. I almost did. My worst matchups were legit the mirror. I've never played the mirror up until this point. I lost 2 mirror matches, and then the last loss was round 9, the last round. It was legit about PK heroes. That shit was kind of broken, but either way, like Dylan says, I'll forever go with the deck profile. I played 2 Gofu. I don't like this at 3 because it turns off Void Ogre. If you have them in hand, can't get rid of them. 2 Jalgans. It's kind of busted. Like, I love this card, especially against the Blue Eyes matchup. Like, if they don't, a lot of times if they know you're playing Metalfoe. I'm saying Majespecter, but it's more or less Majespecter. They try to keep Spirit on the field because they know you're playing pendulums. They don't want you to pendulum more than one at one time, and they also turn off your counters and stuff in your graveyard. So like you just normal summon this, and then just as long as you don't have a Veiler, you just pitch a card randomly out of your hand. Normally you set the ones you don't want to pitch, and then pop Spirit and everything before they can even tribute out for Azurize, because a lot of times again they want to keep Spirit on the field. So 2 of those, and then with the that's pretty much all the only monsters that are not pendulum in the deck. For the Metalfoes, it's just basic 3 Volflame, 3 Gold Driver, 3 Silvered. I played 2 Staling because it's the worst. 1 game, it was actually during a mirror 2, it was terrible. I opened up both of these, and I legit had no other scales, so all I could do was like pop the other, and I actually ended up actually instead of popping the other because like my hand was so bad, I legit had to set one. It was just that game was just terrible.
Why is it the worst one in your opinion?
It's 0 attack, 100 defense. I will say the defense is pretty high, but like defense doesn't win you games. Unless like you're legit sitting on this and some strikes, and hopefully strike wins you the game. But regardless, even if you strike your opponent field, I legit saw him. I set this. I set Solemn Warning, a Pendulum Summon for 5, and I still lost that same game because I had 2 of these and I couldn't even do any damage to him. It was just terrible. So like the only good thing he's for is legit having another 8 scale. You can pay for decision this guy still because he's obviously still at 4 lower, and then he's just another high scale. And of course you can fusion some with them too. So, but that's the end of the Metalfoes. For the more supporting engine, I did play the Infinity engine. This is a glass cannon in my opinion. I use that term a lot today, but I like it with this because it's what it really is. Like, it's really good when it works, but when it doesn't, you draw this guy without this, you hate this. You hate it. Like, it was great when you summoned Infinity. I summoned Infinity twice today actually. Most times I legit just search the monolith, pop the scout, do the shenanigans of getting them both on the field. But a lot of times I had Jalgan too, so I would pendulum summon these and Jalgan. So I pretty much have defense, attack, and then my Jalgan for stopping special summons. So that's pretty much what it ended up being. Yeah, you had a choice. You could always just make Infinity and normal summon Jalgan. That's not the greatest because people can just normal summon. They can say Blue Eyes, attack with an egg, and they can beat over it. The Jalgan. It's not that great. That's why you always just pendulum summon that stuff and just get them on the field without making Infinity. Next, I did play the 3 Bamboku and Kieran. This card wins you most of your games. I think it was by my round 5. I summoned Infinity once. I summoned Jalgan 0 times. I legit drew Jalgan 0 times up until round 5. And Kieran won me every single game, so I think I summoned Kieran almost every single game. This card was the nuts. I understand why they went to 1. This is my first pendulum deck I ever played, and I realize now again why this is at 1. It's just really good. Next is Luster. This is just more your tech cards. You can always just choose what you want. I could play Ariande too, but I just chose not to. I tried it at 3, went down to 2, went down to 1, then dropped it completely. Luster's is good. This is just great against if you have some people have main deck Vanity's Fiend. Someone actually did that with me against a DDD player in my round 1. This won me games. I'll explain that in a few seconds. And this is just a cool tech card in my opinion that.
Explain to everyone what's it do.
When this is normal or special summon, you can target a monster on the field and banish it. So the best play you can do with this, you can banish legit twice. You can summon Gofu, tribute over Gofu to summon this. Target one of my monsters to banish. Pop this with your Metalfoe monster, And then when you activate your scales and pendulum summon, you can just banish another monster if they have another one to banish. So you can banish 2 monsters with this. It's kind of cool. And then this card legit won me 3 games today. I mean, I'm not sure if people are gonna actually start playing this. I don't recommend it, but like it's really good in the sense that this card, when it has a Scarm effect when it's destroyed by battle or card effect by your opponent. You can search a warrior or spellcaster 2000 attack or less. Sorry. And your targets are your Bamboku, Kieran, and you can legit search Jalgan off of this card. There was I was actually playing a Shadal Trains, and you had that 5,000 went to 3 material or whatever, blowing out all my skills and everything. And I just set this guy, and I had no cards left. This is the only card I had. I set this guy, and then he attacked into it. I'm like, end phase activate. He's like, what does it do? I said it adds you, whatever. He said, sure. I had a Jalgan, and I legit normal summon Jalgan next turn, and with the card I drew for 4 turn, I was able to pop his field and like out his vanities that he had me locked under. So it was great. And then other times too, I pendulum summoned, just like I told you earlier, the Scout and the Monolith, and I had this in my pendulum scale. So I had the Jalgan in defense, the Monolith in attack mode, and Scout in defense. And my opponent was playing a mirror, or the same exact thing was a mirror. He could not beat over my Jalgan because I kept pitching cards for this. So like, he could not draw an out at all. He couldn't draw Twin Twisters for this or Regeki for the other one. So I just ended up beating him out Monolith. This was just the nuts.
And why one Eccentric?
I like Eccentric because it gives you that option to be able to main deck pop like Vanity Fiends and stuff like that's in your way. And plus 2, it is I only play 1 Twin Twister in my main. This is like another just a back row removal. He likes to lose the vanities. Like no, I hate vanities. Even I play it. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, I played 2 Decision and then 2 Summer's Art. This is like just basic searching. It was clutch throughout the day. Like, you can just get whatever you want. Besides this only really gets like Full Flame, but then it helps with your opening of the bad combo of like making Infinity. In my opinion, it's bad. And I mean, I'm not sure how everybody else feels about it, but
why only 2 Decision?
Because Decision you can only activate 1 per turn. If it was with multiples, I wouldn't mind it as much because you have 3 targets. If I can activate multiples, I would go search Sailing with this one, search Silver with this one, because like you can only activate 1 anyway because you pitch 1, add 1, so that means you wouldn't have 2 targets again to activate this for the same exact target. But still, you have 3 different targets in the deck, but because you only activate 1 per turn, it's not that great. This is fine, this is great, but you only have 1 search target with this. 3 if you consider Monolith and Scout really search targets. I mean, early game maybe, but late game, no. Next for this rest of the spells, just one Regeki, because in the mirror, they hit Jalgans in your main phase or waste your battle phase. Twin Twister, because I lost to Vanities like during locals, and I just decided to screw it, I'm going to main 1. And then a lot of times, like, I was actually twice during the tournament, I legitimately drew Fusion in my hand, instead of searching it, of course, or setting it. And I just twin twisted my Fusion away and then pop whatever, and then I just use Fusion effect. Like, I'm sure it's not going to happen very often because obviously it's both 1-ofs, but like it worked out very well for me. So I'm gonna probably keep 1 Twin Twister in the main. For the traps, I only played 2 counter and 1 combination. A lot of people I noticed cut this and play 3 counter, but this is my preference. I mean, this works out for me. And then I did play the Solemns. I did cut the Arianas, like I said. However, I did keep these in the deck because still making Void Ogre or something, and then having this for all against like Blue Eyes. This for all the these for the alternative, and like the Void Ogre to stop everything else is just kind of nutsy. And then finally the Vanities, the card that I said I hate earlier. It's a bad card. It should have got banned a long time ago. This is, you can sack your opponent with this. Like you make
them neg.
Yeah, like you Void Ogre, and then they activate return. Like you just you negate return with like Void Ogre, and then they activate another return. You activate Vanity. It's just the nuts. That's it for the main. It's 40, of course. For the, I'll just go side. 2 Max E. I actually didn't side these at all today. I didn't play anybody I really needed them against. I didn't play any PK Fire. Just that PK hero guy. And I didn't want to side these in because like they're dead against Darkwall. Like if he has Darkwall and I draw these, I can't even use them. Next is these. They were useless the entire day because I played no Blue Eyes the entire day. It was crazy. I guess people were trying to get rid of the deck because the reprints. I really don't know, but I played no Blue Eyes. Next is the two Terries. More or less, this is only for Spirit Dragon because it wrecks this deck. Like, you have to try to bait out Spirit Dragon most of the time. That's what these do. The viruses, I just use it on Spirit Dragon, make them tag out, and then try to make plays from that. But again, didn't side these in because I played no Blue Eyes players. Denko, you're not really supposed to side Denko in this deck because you can't. You activate your Metalfoe cards, and because this sets or base set, and you can't set under this. However, this will be one game. To explain it shortly, I had rolled a Kree up, and the guy had Cosmic Cyclone. And what he did was he let me go to my main phase, not thinking about, you can have Denko and roll a Kree. And I summoned this, and I stopped the, obviously stopped him from activating the set Cosmic Cyclone and won me the game. Like, yeah, it was just crazy. I couldn't believe that actually worked, but I never even thought he would have Cosmic Cyclone. So, next I played the two Morphe Sloth. This is great against BA, and then I kind of realized other rogue decks like Metalfoes, DDDs, stuff like that. If you have this on the field, you legit just turn off their entire turn. They can't use your extra deck. When you have this on the field, of course, in the monster zone. And then on your turn, you can turn it off by just popping it with your Metalfoe. And then when you're done doing all your whatever you have to do, if you could even exceed or whatever after you popped it, then you just pendulum summon back to the field, and they're locked out on their turn again. So this was great. It's even good against Blue Eyes in a sense, but you have to be able to protect it from like alternative. Or like return Blue Eyes, like they bring out Blue Eyes off return or whatever. Next is the second eccentric. I cited this in most games, mostly because like I played 3 mirrors, and other decks I played like a Cleatomize. Most decks I just needed more back row removal. In that Vanity Stream, this is also a card like cited in mostly against Blue Eyes, because like sometimes at the normal summon Jalgan in attack mode is not the greatest. Excuse me, and then other times, like, I want to build a Pendulum Summon and still go into my extra deck the same turn, and I can't. My Pendulum Summon Jalgan in defense. In this case, I can Pendulum Summon my cards, go into my extra deck if I need to with whatever, and then when I'm done, Tribute Summon for this, so it works out sometimes. And then I side decked the one Spirit because I have like no room in my extra deck. Like everything in here, like I kind of want to go into if I can. And then lastly is 2 Decree, and then the last one Twister, the second one Twister, because again I hate back row. Decree kind of sucks sometimes, but like every time I did side it in, it came in clutch because again Cleatomize, so you don't want to play against this stuff. Stop it all. Next is the extra deck. I played the one Totem Bird. This guy actually made this against. I played legit like round frickin' 7. I played, I'm pretty sure it was round 7. It was either 6 or 7 of 9. No, wait. 7 or 8 of 9, sorry. And it was just a stun deck. Like, it had, like, Quaking Mirror Forces, Banisher the Radiance, Fossil Dyna. It was just weird. Like, this came in clutch. I just summoned this guy, started popping his back row. I wouldn't even attack him until I just got all of his back row gone. I even made Ori Calc, popped it with the whatever to pop back row. I just got through everything, and then I started attacking. And this guy gave me clutch. The Utopias, I never made this at all, or Castel. These are only rank 4s I play. Never made them at all.
The best rank 4s there is.
Right. Just never did. The Infinity, I made it twice. I think I actually maybe 3 times. Like, one time was only good. It was DDD, round 1. Other than that, it was just terrible. Big Eye, I made it twice. Both times I got Solemn Strike. And then actually one time I got Cherry targeted by the... It was so weird. It was by the Cleatomize player. My main phase, when I know it's on a monster, he's like, Cherry target, and I'm like, sure. He's like, I'm gonna go into Wild Limb and say Big Eye. And I'm like, here's my extra deck, and he just banned it. It was just, I don't know, it was weird. Like, it was so irrelevant. For the fusion, I play 1 of each. This might go to 2. This is like boss in the mirror. If your opponent summons Gofu and doesn't get rid of the tokens, you can do 5,600 damage immediately. If you're able to attack into a token with this, it's the nuts. Zulkin, I never made him. I had times 2, but like when you're playing against people that have like 4 back row, you don't want to go into Zulkin. Next is the rest of the Synchros is the Ignister. Or I should do this. The only one you can't summon with Gofu without the Zulkin is Crystal Wing, which again I never made Zulkin, so I never made Crystal Wing. And then these. Throughout the day, I made Ignister like 4 times and Void Ogre like 3 times. I never made Starter Spark. That's because you can just use Gofu in the level 3. Like I used Gofu and Bumboku so many times, made these, did the plays with these, and then Pendulum Summon, because like you can Pendulum Summon the Boku you used with Gofu, like it's just the nuts. And these cards, they were clutch the entire day. They really were.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but Nista requires a tuner. Oh wait.
No.
All right. No.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a tuner and a non-pendulum,
and a pendulum.
A pendulum non-tuner, correct.
Yeah.
It was Gofu's a tuner, and then you got your
I thought the tuner had to be. I apologize, guys. I'm a scrub.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Like it's a very easy way to misconcept that. But yeah, he's there's a reason why he's at 1. He's clutch. But my rounds were pretty much just me losing twice to the mirror, and then me losing last round to that odd fucking deck that PK Heroes, like being able to Allure Darkness, Shadow Mist, Special Summon Terratop, gets caught on board, go into Leviair, bring out Shadow Mist, get the mass change too, or it was just the nuts. I could not keep up with this.
All right, Rhobby. Well, thanks for the deck profile and congratulations on your talk.
Thanks.
This is Dylan from Team Oversight. Remember to like, subscribe, and tell your friends.